Hey guys, what's up? Sam here. Welcome back to another video. Listen, have you seen a review this year of an Apple product? I know I've probably watched about 5,700 of these, but I thought, you know what? What if I took this concept and I bulked it up a little bit? We did a quick winter bulk, eating the right foods to gain a little bit of weight, and I was like, let's go ahead and just review all of them in one video. So today, I'm gonna go over every single Apple product that released in 2020 and tell you what I think about it. Because I think out of like the 19 things that came out, there's only one or two that I actually never touched, and for good reason, and I'll tell you why. So let's go ahead and jump in. All right, where did the year start? What was the first product that Apple unveiled? It was a super quiet January and February. We only got our first product just to the halfway point in March, right before we knew that we'd be spending the foreseeable future inside, and that was, of course, the new MacBook Air. This is something that I didn't buy because I just had a sneaking suspicion that not only did I not need a MacBook Air at the time, but I was like, I think that with Apple Silicon rumored to be coming, like it's probably just not a good idea to buy this MacBook Air. So that's why I didn't buy it. I think I only talked about it in one video. One of my friends bought it. He says he loves it. So that's the review. It was a good MacBook, but let's be honest, it was just a new Intel MacBook Air. Nothing special. The thing that did catch my eye and that I was super excited for and is one of my most used products to date, simply just the new iPad Pro. It was the new one with dual cameras on the back and a LiDAR sensor. This product is incredible. Now, was it a significant upgrade over 2018? No. Do I use the LiDAR sensor? No, not at all. Do I use the cameras to shoot video or photos? Pretty much never, although I did actually use it to shoot part of my Apple Fitness Plus review the other day. What I do love about this device is how incredibly quick it is, how relatively thin and light it is, and just the 120 hertz display, it still got me. This and the 2018 iPad Pro are so similar still, but the upgrade was worth it for me just for the slightest increase in speed, having the ability to go hands-on with LiDAR before we had it on the iPhone 12 Pros, and sort of get a glimpse into the future, which is what this product was. This product, had it come out by itself, I would have been like, yeah, but it's just a new iPad Pro. The product that changed that for me is this. I can't remember if I reviewed this product. This keyboard is freaking amazing. I almost used an expletive there because I have grown to love not only the key travel and resistance on this, I type constantly on here. It is the closest we've ever gotten to the iPad becoming a computer. Being able to just kind of snap this in here magnetically and have it work so fluidly with like pretty much no impact to battery that I've noticed is astonishing. This together was significant for me, and I think it shows us where Apple is heading with iPad OS. When they added cursor support, that was this year, guys. I know it seems like forever ago, but what Apple did with these two products, still to this day, I think it's in my top 3 of this year. It's actually definitely in my top 3 of this year. The ability to do this and have this keyboard and have it fold, like I didn't think I would ever see something from this like Apple 1, 2, I didn't think I'd ever like it. And it honestly has worked so well. Does it replace my MacBook? No, but it's closer than they've ever gotten. And I think in a couple of years, I think we might be there with the iPad. But then again, Apple Silicon is so good. Okay, and then we got the iPhone SE, which is such an incredible product. Is the battery life stellar? No. Is it a $400 phone? Yes. I don't have it on me. I actually gifted it to my mom for her birthday, I think, of this year. Maybe it was Mother's Day, something like that. And she loves this thing. It's like the form factor she likes. She loves Touch ID and the home button as well. It's extremely familiar. And I think if there's a phone to get somebody in your family that wants something really good and fast, but doesn't genuinely care about technology or get excited about it, the $400 iPhone SE is an incredible deal. It's going to be getting updates for years. And I said it at the time, I'll say it again, I think it's the best value phone you can buy. It is really good, but of course, I'm not going to be rocking Apple's budget phone just because I do desire a little bit more. But for the next few months after the iPhone SE, there wasn't a lot. In May, we got that new MacBook Pro that, again, I just didn't get because, one, it was a 13-inch and I used to rock the 16-inch. And again, I was just like, okay, it's just another Intel Mac. It's just the new 13-inch MacBook Pro. Came out like halfway through May. Is cool. I don't know anybody personally that bought this, and for good reason, because it was going to get updated again in a few months. Of course, we didn't know that at the time, but then we didn't see anything. in June, July. We only saw something again in August when Apple unveiled this. I bet you didn't even think this was going to be in the video. You're probably like, oh, all the stuff in the video is going to be behind it. No, we got the new 2020 iMac. And I have actually had a pretty good experience with this product, aside from a few pretty key shortcomings. So pros on this list, it is super big and it's really quick at exporting videos for me. Those are very key things. The GPU inside is okay, but as I've got this new Sony a7S III that I'm recording on right now, I'm already noticing that even 8-bit footage is a bit too high res for super smooth editing in the timeline. This leads us into the cons. I am further done every single day with Intel. And this is why I do not recommend that anyone buy an Intel Mac if they can help it. They're all going to get updated and be significantly better. Just made a video the other day about the M1X and M2 chips that are coming. They're going to be insane. I cannot wait. It's good, but Intel's age is showing. And there is no way to hide that on any of Apple's Intel-based Macs. It is slow at times. Files in the system just take a while to propagate. I said it 8 times already. I'm just ready for Apple Silicon on everything. After this, of course, we got the September event, and here we got a few key products. One that has been on my wrist since the day it came out, the Apple Watch Series 6. I got the 44mm blue GPS plus cellular. Again, like I'm pulling these products out from places you don't even know about at this point. And I made a whole video about this somewhat recently, actually. Marginal upgrade, barely any improvements over the Series 5. Wouldn't recommend upgrading for anybody. I don't think over the Series 5. It had always-on altimeter, slightly better battery life, and blood oxygen monitoring that has done absolutely nothing to improve my quality of life. Luckily, if you wanted some key features from both the Series 4, 5, and 6, Apple came out with the Apple Watch SE. Another product that I bought, I did return just because I opted for the higher end Series 6 over the non-always on display SE version. Yet if there's somebody in your life that wants to get involved with the Apple Watch, but only wants to spend a couple $100 instead of $500 or $600, the SE is the way to do it. It includes some nice things like that always-on altimeter, but of course, you're not getting the always-on display, which can be a deal breaker for some people. For me, it is. I can't buy another Apple Watch without an always-on display. It's just a feature that matters too much to me. And of course, I was happy that the Series 6 retained it. And it was also at this event, as I wipe literal dust off of this, that we got the new iPad Air, which is an absolutely phenomenal product, yet something that for me has fallen by the wayside just because I've got the faster iPad Pro. Listen, I know that I am not the consumer base for this iPad, but after seeing 120 Hz ProMotion on this, and then going back to the iPad Air, it's just not as fun, as enjoyable to use. And being $600, for just $200 more, you can get the new iPad Pro. If you're like a real tech head, if you care about these intricacies in products, I would say go for the iPad Pro. This is a fantastic product for anybody that doesn't want to go for the cheapest $329 iPad 8 that we'll talk about momentarily, and that doesn't want to spend $800 on an iPad. I feel like this should be situated at $500 and not $600, yet I love the design. I love that it's compatible with the smart keyboard behind me. You can get this similar feeling laptop-like experience on here, and you've even got the A14 processor in here, which is lightning quick. Yet I just don't use it because I prefer the better iPad Pro. But if the iPad Pro wasn't out, no question, this is the iPad I'd go for. And then the iPad 8, again, it's something that I used for a while. I don't think I ever ended up reviewing it just because I didn't feel like I had anything insightful to add. It's the cheapest iPad, worst screen, worst camera, A12 Bionic processor inside. Great for anybody that wants a cheap iPad. Great if you've never had an iPad before, but compared to something like the iPad Air or the iPad Pro, it doesn't really stand a chance. It doesn't support the Magic Keyboard. If you want to shoot any photos and videos, they're really bad. But again, not the product for me. So very boring, very standard, but I totally see and get why it exists, and I'm happy it's there. But out of all of this, I think we were all waiting for 1 month this year, and that was October when we heard the new iPhones would finally be coming out. Yet before we got the new iPhones, let me just grab my entire HomePod mini here. We got this little softball. I know it's controversial to review something on day one, but sometimes I just know that my opinion on something is not going to change. The audio quality has remained right in the middle for me. It is not wow, incredible, great. It is not, wow, this is really bad. This should not be sold. This is mid-tier $100 smart speaker with Siri. If you like that, go for the HomePod Mini. If you want to be blown away by the audio quality or excited to listen to some audio regularly, I definitely push you in the direction of Sonos or the larger size HomePod. I get why this exists. It's to expand Apple's smart home functionality and offerings. It's just, I just was hoping for a little bit more. But again, it's $100, and I think this comes from my perception of Apple offering really high-end, expensive products all the time and not going down to something arguably more affordable. That being said, the same event that also gave us the HomePod Mini gave us the new iPhones for this year. This is iPhone 12 Mini. And this is not my daily driver. I think the 12 Mini is a fantastic phone. I love the form factor. So many people have fallen in love with this. Shout out to Apple for being courageous enough, we could use that adjective, to bring back a smaller phone in an era where everybody seems to still be going larger. Apple themselves going larger with the 12 Pro Max that we'll talk about in just a sec. But 12 Mini, pretty good, but a little bit too small for me. I actually found myself thinking I would like this form factor, but like typing, my hands are a little bit big. I wanted something a bit larger, which is exactly why we got this device right here, the 6.1-inch iPhone 12. This phone is incredible. If there's one iPhone 12 I think is the best for most of you out there, that you'll be most happy with for what you spend and the feature set that you get, it is the iPhone 12. Man, the design is phenomenal. It is so thin and light. The camera is just amazing. You've got the wide angle and the ultra wide angle. The A14 inside is ridiculously fast. The battery life has been amazing on the 12 for me. Yet this is also not my daily driver because I like the fit and finish and the feature set of the iPhone 12 Pro more. I use the telephoto lens more than I thought I would. I love the stainless steel design, and while that makes it a bit heavier, I love the more premium space gray / graphite, silver, gold, and Pacific blue offerings. I mean, I can't say no to Pacific blue. The LiDAR sensor also helps with things like autofocusing, and I love like using the apps to scan your rooms. That's been incredibly cool. And it's also got the Pro RAW feature, which is great for photography. And I've started to be more careful about how I shoot and use that feature that is exclusive to the 12 Pros. That stuff is worth $200 for me, but I actually have seen that the battery life on the 12 Pro is apparently a little bit weaker than just the regular 12. Finally, we have a phone that I returned, which I don't know if I've said this publicly. I said it on the Telosive Tech podcast. This is actually a dummy unit for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I got rid of it. I got rid of the 12 Pro Max just about, I think, 2 weeks after having it, maybe a little bit under, because it was way too big. The new boxy design, while I love it in every other form factor, was literally cutting into my hands. I've never been a big phone guy, so that's why I didn't like it. And on top of that, the camera improvements for the 12 Pro Max were so marginal. Like, the stabilization was a big upgrade, and I like the 2.5x optical zoom lens instead of just 2x, but man, it wasn't enough. But that being said, the 6.7-inch phone is fantastic if you want a giant phone. If you like big phones, there's no question you'll absolutely love the iPhone 12 Pro Max. There was a couple more products this year that absolutely surprised me. In fact, they blew me away. And they were the products that followed the iPhones that came out in November. The first of these products, just to give you a little demo, I haven't opened this all day. Oh, Instant Wake. Apple shouldn't have released these this year because every waking second that goes by, I dislike using my Intel Macs more. The file system is instant. The optimization is something I have never before experienced in a computer. These M1 machines, again, I reviewed this on day one because I just knew how I was gonna feel about it, and it didn't change my mind on it. This is the best Mac I've ever used in my entire life. Why? Because Apple figured it out when it comes to computing. They said, what if we bring the experience from the iPhone and the iPad and the watch and AirPods, and we funnel that into one single chip in a Mac? And my God, did they nail it. The only things that I don't like about this MacBook is A, the speakers don't get loud enough for me. B, the microphones just sound okay, even though they claim they're studio quality. When Apple says studio quality about a mic, just never believe them. And C, the webcam sucks. It's 720p, it still looks like absolute garbage. If Apple can perfect those things in the next MacBook Pro and redesign it to have even slimmer bezels, I mean, I don't know how you could ever buy another computer. I don't know how I could ever buy another computer. Apple Silicon is the #1 product for me this year. Significantly better than anything else Apple released. It's obviously the thing that they've probably been working on the most. Well, I do have one more thing, and Apple had one more thing for us. And it's a product that I have not yet reviewed, that I have not given my piece on. You know why? Because I've had a really hard time with this product. Some things, as I've told you, I can look at, I can use for a little bit and just know how I feel. I know how it works. It's something I'm really good at. This product I have gone back and forth on every single day that I use them. Some days these are too heavy and they literally hurt my head because they weigh so much. They don't feel very comfortable. Other days these rest on my head like pillows. They're perfect. This mesh headband is remarkable. Like, I'm not joking. Whatever Apple did with this mesh headband, it really is magic of AirPods, because not only does it feel so great in conjunction with like the silicone top, it rests on your head like a pillow. It's incredible. Yet when I wear these headphones, I don't know. I can't help but be so ridiculously impressed and utterly disappointed at the same time. Some songs, like a lot of hip hop that I listen to, the sound profile is so wide that it's a little bit too sharp for me. There's some sibilance in the higher S's, and the bass is great. It's great. It really is. The mids are so clear. Like, these are the best sounding headphones that I've ever worn. Yet if I listen to them sometimes for more than 30 minutes to an hour, I do feel my head kind of getting like, not fatigued, but like noticing that they're on and being like, oh, I kind of want to take these off. The microphones also just don't sound very good. There's 9 of these, and I don't understand how the microphones are this bad. And of course, for $550, you'd pretty much want these to be perfect. The aluminum just feels odd to me. Like, I get Apple did this to make these feel premium, and I mentioned this in my first video. It's just weird to have aluminum on the outside of headphones. I would have much preferred a high quality silicone like this. If Apple would have made this material of the headband, the outside of the cups, oh my gosh, I would have been blown away. I would have loved these, which is why I really, really hope that we see a sport version of these AirPods Max, because if they were lighter, I think they'd be perfect. I love listening to music on these. It's just like some hip hop stuff is too sharp. Anything else I listen to just sounds absolutely phenomenal. Things that could be improved. Oh, the battery life is also fantastic. I charged these once in the first week after using them lightly every day. The ear cups are amazing as well. The fact that these are interchangeable, like, that is sick. That is sick. I've never been able to do that on a pair of headphones, and you can mix and match the colors and even replace them if they start to get worn out or worn in too quickly. The case is weird. I've seen so many people so upset. I don't know. I don't have anything wild to add to the conversation about the case. It's just a case. Overall, I do like this product. I really do. I just think that for $550, you're better off spending your money somewhere else. Even as I talk about these, I'm like, do I give these an 8 or a 9? Or do I give them a 6 or a 5? Like, it really depends on your experience with these, and everybody seems to have something different to say about these. All right, guys, that's every single Apple product that came out this year. I hope you enjoyed it. This was fun. I thought it'd be cool to just give my quick take on everything after using it, after experiencing it, after see what happened this year, because got some other fun content coming up soon, and I can't wait to see what's coming in 2021. We're gonna have some big things then. So that's 2020. Let me know your thoughts about everything down below. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Hit subscribe for more. Peace out. See you guys later.